You are the CMO of Research in Motion. You've been in that role now for 6 months.
6 months, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing the last 6 months for the BlackBerry brand.
When I joined, I had two main objectives given to me by our CEO. To build a world-class marketing organization on one side, and on the other side to prepare the launch of BlackBerry 10, our new platform.
Which is, the launch is happening January 30th.
January 30th, global launch.
So really, you took a job that many would argue would be something that many people would want to shy away from. I mean, just arguably terribly challenging. You know, what was it about the job that appealed to you?
Depends on whether you like to take on a challenge or not. To me, participating in what could be the greatest comeback in tech history is very appealing.
Is that possible?
Yes, that's very possible.
So let's talk about that. How, you know, what are you doing to fix a badly damaged brand?
First of all, you've got to recognize that it's not damage everywhere on the planet. We have 80 million subscribers on a worldwide basis. We grew last quarter by 2 million. And there are some countries where we are the #1 brand across all categories, including soft drinks, etc. South Africa is a good example. South America, Indonesia, Middle East. So we have a contrasted situation. We have weaknesses in North America, obviously, but globally we have a contrasted position.
So there's some brand equity that exists out there that you're obviously seeking to capitalize on.
Yes, but when I joined, I realized that we were extremely fragmented. So the first thing I changed at RIM is the marketing organization. We had pockets of talents everywhere, but they were not working into a unified marketing organization. So I've unified the marketing organization, local, regional, global marketing in all disciplines of marketing now constitutes one team operating with one budget, one set of processes, etc.
Okay, so was that really your first order of business, was to really sort of unify the marketing organization?
Yes, you cannot achieve anything before you have the right people operating in the right construct.
Sure, so let's now then talk about, because I would imagine from there then you start looking at the brand purpose, if you will, which is a term used a lot these days. You know, what needs to happen in your view to really overhaul the BlackBerry brand?
So first of all, it starts with the customer. And we need to be absolutely clear about which customers we intend to serve and why we are going to serve them better than the competition.
And so 3 core constituencies would be the consumer, carriers, and enterprises as well, correct?
And application developers for the ecosystem. So I can take them one by one, but let's start by the end user, the consumer. We identified a segment that internally we call the BlackBerry people, and they have 3 main characteristics. They are about getting things done. They are about productivity. They want a smartphone that allows them to be more efficient, to go faster, whether it is in their personal life or professional life. So they want a tool more than a toy, if I use a marketing gimmick. Second, they are hyper-connected. They are heavy talkers, texters, they use social networks, multiple email accounts, etc. And lastly, they are multitaskers. They want to do on a smartphone what you do at your desk without thinking about it. You are on a call, you check your email, your calendar, you're browsing on the website of the person you are talking to, you multitask naturally. You cannot do that easily on a smartphone today. So those 3 main characteristics define those BlackBerry people, and they come in different type of socio-demographics. Could be someone like you and me, busy executive, can be a working mom, juggling between work and life balance, or an hyperactive teenager like my daughter. She's 18 years old, she's an achiever, she's hyper-connected, and she multitasks more than me. So that's the segment we are going after. And for that segment, we've optimized the BlackBerry 10 experience so that we answer those needs better than any other product out there. So that's the starting point. You need to identify the segment you're going after. It's roughly speaking 1/3 of the smartphone market. It's a sizable segment. And to develop a unique proposition for them. That's the starting point.
Well, it sounds like you have to get people thinking about BlackBerry in a different way.
Yes, so now once we've got that first element, the right proposition for the right segment, how do you change the perception, which is your question.
Right.
When I arrived 6 months ago, I was positively surprised to see that whatever the country, including the US, we have still a lot of fans, die-hard BlackBerry users, even people who have left BlackBerry and want us to come back. So there is really an element of attractiveness, loyalty to the brand that is pretty unique.
Sure.
As a CMO, I cannot tell you how many emails, LinkedIn requests, etc. I've received from end users telling me, we hope you'll be successful, when is the BlackBerry 10 coming? It's pretty unique in my marketing career, and I never experienced that before.
So you've got that equity, you've got that loyalty.
We have 27 million fans on Facebook. Yesterday we crossed the 1.5 million mark on Twitter. So we have that loyal base of fans. And on the other side, a very unique proposition with BlackBerry 10. If you look at the smartphone market, 6 years ago, a revolution was introduced, a completely new paradigm, a grid of application. You get into an application, you want to do something else, home button, you get into another one. Very simple, very elegant, but it has not really evolved in the last 6 years.
Okay.
If you look at the BlackBerry 10 demonstration today, very different user experience, much more fluid. And so the starting point of the marketing strategy is we want to show more than to tell. So the first thing we are doing is a very comprehensive advocacy program where we show to those fans, starting with the most famous ones in all categories of profession, celebrities, etc., the BlackBerry 10 experience.
So in what context are you showing them this experience?
Face-to-face demonstration. So be it with journalists, with music celebrities, sports, CEOs, entrepreneurs, etc. We show them the BlackBerry 10 device so that they start and speak about it with their circle of friends, colleagues, etc. They start and tweet about it, blog about it. So that's the first phase of the...
targeting that influencer base.
Yes.
To really spread the experience.
We've done that really extensively, and it's working. You see the sentiment about BlackBerry 10 building very positively everywhere, including in North America.
Okay, so you're trying to build that buzz, but I mean that was going to be my question. It's a chicken and egg issue. You, on the one hand, I've seen you quoted as saying, you know, what's going to really drive this is user experience, but obviously you need to do something to get people to use it in the first place and try it in the first place.
Yes.
So that's the challenge.
So we start with those advocates, and they start and spread the word, build the buzz. Then we need to amplify it. So the second step of the strategy is to do that using all possible real-time marketing means. So I'm talking about digital, social networking, mobile marketing. And there obviously we cannot do a face-to-face demo. But what we can do is expose video assets showcasing the unique user experience. So we have started to do that. So you can see our amazing keyboard through a video online, on social network, on YouTube, etc. The BlackBerry Hub, BlackBerry Balance, which allows you to manage personal and work aspects of your life. And then you can start and comment about it, go to the full experience on blackberry.com. So we amplify what we do with influencers face-to-face online.
Okay.
And all that is happening prior to the launch.
How do you think you need to work to overcome what is still, though, some reticence on the part of some consumers who had been BlackBerry users, who are, you know, maybe embarrassed now or less enthusiastic about using a BlackBerry right now, where iPhones are so prevalent and other forms of devices are so prevalent? What is, I guess, a perception problem with regard to the user of a BlackBerry? So
first, it's not only a perception problem. We are here in New York. Very often I meet with people working in Wall Street, and they have today BlackBerry devices, and those BlackBerry devices are locked. They cannot use a browser, they cannot use a social network, so they don't get the full experience on the BlackBerry. They don't experience the full mobile internet on the BlackBerry. So the first thing is we've addressed that with a feature we call BlackBerry Balance, which now will allow you to have two profiles on the BlackBerry 10, one that is managed by your IT department and one that is managed by you.
Okay.
So you can be fully secured on one side, fully controlled by your IT department, without compromising all the things you want to do from a personal standpoint.
Yep.
So, and we are the only one with such an elegant way of managing both sides of your life.
But that's an educational component.
Yes.
You need to
so
explain that too.
That's why a lot of our campaign will be about educating about what the device is capable of. So that's a fundamental aspect. Second, we are now with BlackBerry 10 covering the table stakes that you expect from a smartphone. So we have a browser that is best in class. We have fantastic multimedia characteristics, a screen with high definition resolution, great camera performance. And at launch, we will have more than 70,000 apps available. So that's what you expect today from a smartphone. Great browsing, great multimedia, large number of apps. We'll have that. So we need to explain that we are covering the table stakes, but we are also different. So if you want a fantastic touch experience for a keyboard, which we know is a pain point for customer, we will be demonstrating in our communication the amazing keyboard. And so you might be using another device today, and you might get in the palm of your hand a video showcasing the BlackBerry 10 keyboard. And at the end, maybe we'll ask, does your smartphone do that? If not, go and visit blackberry.com.
So then let's talk about what we can expect to see on a, broadly at least, with regard to the advertising around the actual launch in late January.
So you are going to see, without getting into the creative, advertising that puts the product experience of BlackBerry 10 at the core. We are coming into a category that has largely been commoditized now with little differentiation, and we are going to introduce a new, unique user experience, which is really the BlackBerry DNA. So better for communications, better for typing, for instant messaging, for managing the professional aspect of your life without compromising on the personal one, together with some pretty cool multimedia features.
So it sounds like you're reintroducing the the core BlackBerry experience, but at the same time you hope it disrupts everything else that exists out there right now.
Yes, we are really loyal to our DNA, consistent with our DNA, but we are taking it to the next level.
Okay.
If you look at the software in a BlackBerry 10 and the software in the current BlackBerry, there isn't one line of code that is common. So we've really made a huge investment in developing an entirely new user experience.
Let's talk about you. You mentioned why this appealed to you, this job, and just the opportunity to really create something great here. What is it about your background that you think has been most helpful in what we hope, and I'm sure the company hopes, is such a turnaround?
The first thing is we are going to market primarily through carriers. I've spent 20 years working for wireless carriers in different geographies. So I know how carriers see device and how to take them to market in terms of upgrading their existing customer base, acquiring new customers, leveraging their call centers, their stores, and all their marketing programs. So having a good understanding of that is very helpful. I'm just back from a global roadshow that we did with our leadership team. We visited more than 70 carriers in more than 30 countries. And everywhere around the world, there is great excitement from carriers about BlackBerry 10. They want a third smartphone ecosystem to emerge and to break into the duopoly that they are experiencing right now. So to your question, knowing well the wireless carrier world is very helpful. The second thing is I've faced a similar challenge when I was at Orange, now 10 years ago, where we had a brand that was fantastic in the second half of the 90s, when it launched in the UK and then throughout Europe. But by the time I joined, it has started to fragment and lost a bit of its pizzas and magic for consumers. And so I had to restore it at the time. And the way I did it was through a very segmented approach.
So you're no stranger to this sort of turnaround issue. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to the launch in late January.
Thank you.
Thank you.